Cassandra Peterson is best known for her appearances as Elvira, and as a result, many people think that was where she looked the hottest. But what if we tell you that's far from the truth? She has been part of over 24 films where she oozed in sex appeal. So in today's video, we'll count down her top 10 irresistibly hottest movies. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Roma. The 1972 Roma was Cassandra Peterson's first feature film appearance, and although she had less than 30 seconds of play in the film, Peterson believes that this was the movie that seduced men to her beauty and curves. She also had many kind words for movie director Federico Fellini and described his influence as the reason she would find success early in her career. Peterson was smart enough to use this tiny window to grab a lion's share of the market's attention. She was young, beautiful, and talented, but fans refused to see beyond her curves, and she enjoyed every bit of it. Number 9. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was hot and interesting to Cassandra because of two things. The first was that it made her a lot of money, and the second was that she had a deep crush on Pee-wee Herman, Paul Reubens. Well, her romance with Paul ended with him being friend-zoned. Peterson used her role as biker mama to reaffirm her seductive charm. After all these years, Peterson kept in touch with her ex-lover, and the news of his death was going to crush her. Anyway, Pee-wee's Big Adventure was one of those movies that unveiled the strong collaboration between Cassandra's sexiness and remarkable talent, and that's why it's on our list today. Number 8. Jekyll and Hyde Together Again. One needs to be really blind to miss Cassandra Peterson's performance in the 1982 comedy horror film, and all of it was not even about the role she played. It was a minor role, but again, the actress would not fail to steal most of the attention. The plot of the movie revolves around a surgeon, Dr. Jekyll, who inhales a substance that transforms him into a more confident version of himself. While his stripper girlfriend Ivy wants her old boyfriend back, his rich bride-to-be Mary wishes that he stays the same. The film received moderate reviews after it premiered, but this was more than enough for Cassandra, who people just couldn't take their eyes off. Number 7. Cheech and Chong's next movie. Cassandra Peterson plays hostage in the 1980 comedy film Cheech and Chong's Next Movie. Peterson was patient with the minor roles because, to her, it was another opportunity to show the world just what she's capable of, even though she had little minutes. Fortunately, all her hard work and patience were going to pay off with her next feature. Cheech and Chong's Next Movie tells the story of the adventures of the comedy duo Cheech and Chong as they try to siphon gasoline for their next-door neighbor's car. The film was not exactly a box office wonder. Critics slammed it for not being creative enough. Variety magazine even described it as a laborious disappointment. Another thing that is almost controversial is that Peterson got this far not only because of how well she played her role, but how good she looked while doing it. Number 6. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Cassandra reached the peak of her fame in the industry for her portrayal of the horror hostess character, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. The horror comedy film revolves around Elvira, a TV hostess who resigns from her job after she's sexually harassed by the new television owner. What fans particularly loved about Elvira was that she embodied a unique combination of horror, humor, and empowerment. Interestingly, Cassandra was forced to style her outfit, and the result was the glamorous gothic design that we celebrate today. The big hair, bold makeup, and revealing outfits were all vital pieces that transformed Cassandra Peterson into a household name, and she enjoyed every bit of it, but nothing could have prepared her for what was coming. For the later years of her career, Cassandra struggled to leave Elvira's shadow, but it was too late. Show producers just couldn't see her excelling in any other role except Elvira or something similar, and that is arguably the main reason why we don't hear so much about her today. As described by Peterson, the real reason why Elvira, Mistress of the Dark was not commercially successful was that the company for the film went out of business the day before the release. But somehow, Peterson was still able to hold up a good show. For her performance in the film, Cassandra Peterson was nominated for the Razzie Award for Worst Actress in 1989. Number 5. All About Evil. At this time, the industry was fully aware of Cassandra Peterson's potential, and everyone wanted to know how far she could continue in her success streak. All About Evil is a 2010 American horror film about a mousy librarian who who inherited her father's old and dilapidated house. To save her inheritance, she started a series of grisly shots, but a high school teenager would discover that the murders in the film are more real than they seem. Peterson, on why she continues to take minor roles, revealed that she was too lazy to start looking for a different contract, and that was why she had to make do with the ones on her table. Once again, Peterson easily stood out in this film, and she owes it to her body physique, Elvira, and of course, her acting abilities. Overall, the film was a box office disaster, and critics felt that the script needed more creativity. However, it remains on the top list of Cassandra Peterson's irresistible movies, as her performance was simply outstanding. Number 4. The Working Girls. The Working Girls is a 1974 sexploitation film that featured Sarah Rose, Laurie Rose, and Cassandra Peterson. It was her first credited role and only on-screen nude scene, and Peterson seems to regret a little bit of that. According to her, movies like this destroyed her personal life, as she always felt like a hypocrite each time she tried to be herself. The Working Girls explore the adventures of 3 women sharing an apartment in Los Angeles and how they are endangered by the men brought into their lives. The film left a lot to be desired, but it was still entertaining. However, it didn't stand a chance at the box office, and many critics didn't think that it was funny enough for a comedy. They all agreed that it lacked the qualities that would leave a lasting impression. Who knows, maybe if it had been produced after Peterson's breakthrough, things would have been different. Number 3. Elvira's Haunted Hills. Following the success of the 1988 Elvira Mistress of the Dark, Peterson and her team decided to reproduce something similar to Elvira's Haunted Hills, but they got a very different result. The story of the film starts with Elvira and her maid Zuzu on their way to perform in the Parisian Revue, but they would instead end up in Lord Vladimir's medieval castle, where her striking resemblance with Vladimir's long-dead wife puts her in grave danger. This film easily ranks among Cassandra Peterson's irresistible appearances, as it successfully replicates the actress's most adorned qualities. However, at this point, it seemed as if her audience was getting tired of Elvira. Overall, Elvira's Haunted Hills failed to deliver on its budget, and many people believed that the show's producer should never have attempted it in the first place. Number 2. Allan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold. In 1986, Cassandra Peterson teamed up with American actress Sharon Stone for Gary Nelson's adventure comedy film Allan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold. Sharon, who was the bigger star at that time, portrayed the supporting character Jessie Houston, and for her performance, she was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress. Peterson portrayed Queen Soreas, the evil queen of the Lost City of Gold. The script looked and sounded interesting, but the delivery left a lot to be desired. The story reveals the adventures of Allan Quatermain and his team in their quest for the legendary City of Gold. They came face to face with ruthless opposition from hostile natives and an evil warlord, but with courage and teamwork, they hoped to unlock the city's secret and prevent exploitation. The film was, however, met with a lot of negative reviews. The New York Times said that the film was of minor academic interest, and the Los Angeles Times said that it was a movie for fans who couldn't wait for the next installment of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 1. The Sting 2. 5 years before her Elvira breakthrough, Cassandra had a minor role in the sequel of the 1973 American caper film, The Sting. Her role in The Sting 2 did not last long enough to make an impression, but at that time, Cassandra felt privileged to have been part of it all. She had a minor part as O'Malley's girlfriend in the film. Cassandra Peterson does not often talk about her life before Elvira, so it's a little difficult to go into the details of her appearance in the movie. The only thing that most people have against Sting 2 was its affiliation with the first production, as they thought that it could have done a lot better with it. The show's producers could have just gone with a different name. However, it still wasn't very bad, and it was moderately received by both critics and fans. This is it! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos of beautiful actresses from the yesteryears on the end screen.